Face reality, people. Movies are dead. Games are dead. Narrative? Dead.
Media is nothing but neural trigger response and viral conditioning.
Wait, what are you two talking about?
All right. Just watched potential Oscar Best Picture winner, The Zone of Interest. I think it's the in the front of it. Yeah, the Zone of Interest. It's an alright movie. It's okay. I thought they were going to take this little perspective thing they were doing in the beginning of the movie. I thought they were going to go further with it. But they kept kind of just, in my opinion, in my personal, humble opinion, they played it safe and just relied on us feeling shitty about Nazis or something, or the Holocaust, which is, it's kind of typical, not much of a risk-taking thing. I thought they would have turned the idea of these guys are living in this little flowery little house, their dream house, as I think the woman kind of describes it. And it's all the discussions are kind of mundane. You get little hints of things, right? Where the wife or her friends are like, "Oh yeah, I tried to get the curtains from that. They call her a Jewess. I guess that means female Jewish woman or person. I guess what that means. And they're like, oh, I tried to get her curtains on an auction. Like they're kind of like giving little like seeds about what happened prior to where they're at right there, which is this fucking super clean. What's the word? Like sanitized house and environment that is right outside the fucking gates of Auschwitz. Like that is, to me, that I find that very interesting, and to like watch their little mundane existence and mundane discussions and oh my god, it's your birthday? Oh no, it's your birthday. Oh, it's everyone's birthday. Oh, let's go have some fucking cake. Oh, the dad telling bedtime stories to his kids. The girlfriends going out to have brunch, or not even going out, like, oh, I'll make brunch, or my servants will make brunch, aka prisoners. They'll make us brunch, and we'll sit down and have lunch and have normal, mundane fucking discussions while you can smell burning bodies, right? So yeah, that was an interesting, obviously, little clash of environments or of experiences. And they kept it very subtle. They didn't like all of a sudden cutscene. We're in Auschwitz. We're looking at Auschwitz. Like nah, it's more of it's like there it is. There's the big elephant in the room just hiding in the background, and little hints here and there that this is all going on right outside their fucking doors. And in fact, the way they did that, like the housing and stuff and the property, they like made it look so fucking clean, so sanitized to where it is a perfect clash with something as horrible as whatever the fuck went down in Auschwitz, right? So I said bravo to that. Now I wanted to take that idea and move it towards people today, right? I wanted them to like, hey, is there something going outside your fucking house? This little sanitized existence you made for yourself to where someone's screaming outside your window, but you don't fucking recognize it because you're busy doing this or busy doing that. Is there some sort of ignorance that happens to where something, maybe like people might get mad at me for this, like it's someone else's personal fucking Holocaust or social tragedy or human tragedy happening, right? And it ends up getting ignored because, I live in my nice little sanitized area, right? I wish they would have went there with that. That is risk taking. That is storytelling. That is pulling the audience. I would think pulling the audience in much more than, hey man, the Holocaust is bad. Like, it's like, yeah, all right, I get that. I understand that. Not to like brush it aside, but I'm just saying, like, I understand that's bad, but give me something where it can be, someone can pull something into their lives rather than just, kind of outside observers, right? Like explain, like it's kind of what I argued about the movie we watched last night, One Life. I'm like, show the human side of these guys to see how really bad it is. To show that, like, hey, someone could end up falling into this thing, or the idea of the resistance to it, which is more leaning towards One Life, right? Where it's, uh, to do the right thing in the face of whatever's in front of you, type of thing. In a less cliche way, less like kind of canned way, where it's just like, well, Nazis are bad, so I want more of a detailed underneath the level. Give me all the layers to this type of experience of a person. And I want that here as well, man. Give me that to where we can be like, yo, what did we look past? What are we looking past right now? What could future generations look past? To where there's tragedy happening outside your window. You don't fucking say anything about it. Or notice it, even. But, yeah, it is what it is. Let's see. I'm just gonna end up somehow just complaining about everything at some point. I don't know. A lot of the metaphors even lean towards just, hey, Nazis were bad type thing. It's a. I think I think that the dad or what's his name, Haas, the dad of the family and the husband and the obviously SS fucking dude. I think he found a jawbone in the river. In the river, him and his kids were swimming in. He's like, oh. He like rushed himself out. He rushed the kids out, and he made them all take baths and shit like that. Like, I don't know if that was the case, but it just sounds unreal. Like, was it Jewish mojo that's gonna get onto you, and you're gonna like life's gonna be fucked for you or some shit like that? Was that part of the ideology? Like, I don't know. If it was it one of these guys who were supposed to be clever assholes who were like higher leaders up? Like, I thought those would be the guys that like, oh no, there's nothing special here. It was just this is a way to take power, control power, take wealth and property from people, and just kill them and get rid of them. Like, that's what I figured the higher ups would be like. But I guess it is straight up like so deeply ingrained ideologically. Maybe that's the case. I mean, I'll be fair with that one. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't sound realistic from like someone who's able to like mass murder people like kind of coldly. Yada yada yada. I thought it was interesting that the wife did know what was going on. I thought I thought her personality would reflect her little dream home that she lived in. Like, her mind would be I thought her mind would be sanitized to where like, oh no, there's nothing happening. It's just normal life. Betty, when are you gonna bring those dresses over so I can take a look at them? I thought it'd be strictly that, but no, she straight up like she threatened one of the maids or whatever, or let's be honest, one of the slaves, one of the prisoners, and said like, yeah, if you don't do this, I'll have my husband turn you into fucking ashes. It's like, oh fuck. So the wife was apparently all in. That's fine.
Did you see it? Did you see the concentration camps?
We did at the end. They showed the modern version, like the actual place, right, as like a museum. They showed cleaners cleaning up the museum and all that shit. But we didn't actually see like, okay, we're seeing, what went down in Auschwitz. So I'm like, I mean, you don't have to. They had people. They just gave tragedy instead of like, fuck. I want stories behind these things. As sad as it is, give me stories behind it to add levels and depth to it, to where it reaches into the fucking audience and says, "Hey guys, look at this shit." It always seems to keep getting lost, to where we just, like I said yesterday, taking it for granted. Like, oh yeah, we're just taking it for granted that Nazis suck and they're magically like villainous. like magically villainous. This Haas dude, the dad or whatever, the husband, he did a whole fucking like Hansel and Gretel story about burning people in fucking ovens and shit. So Gretel had to push the witch into the the oven and burn her. Like, whoa, is it that cartoonish? And then the only sense of maybe doubt, regret, feeling like shit is him dry heaving in a hallway. Okay, like that's something at least. I'll accept that. Not to say that we have to show these guys as having remorse, but I do want them to be human and not caricatures. This movie did better than most do with making Nazis more human-like than characters. Usually, you're just stuck with whatever his name, Christopher Waltz, whatever his fucking name is.
Yeah.
The super Nazi. I already killed you, my friend. Like some weird shit. But they just show, man, it's hard to see anything that the husband or wife does, that like the Haas family. It's where anything they do is, I don't know, like seem like genuinely, like just normal, or everything is attached to the Holocaust. His like this guy's concern for his kids was about like, oh my god, Jewish DNA might have touched your fucking arm, so I need to go get you a bath immediately. It's like it's him telling a bedtime story. It's about throwing a witch in an oven and burning her.
God damn.
The brunch that her and the girl, they even added there. Like I said, they added in there of like them talking about going to auctions and buying all the property that was taken from Jewish people in Germany or Poland or wherever. Like it was just surrounding it, and it's like, man, if you showed like it's still they still showcase like, okay, here's like their little ignorance is bliss existence. So I'm like, okay, and backdropping that with Auschwitz right there is like a clever idea. I think that's interesting, clever, and I give them kudos for that. But still, I think there's just something missing. Something missing about humans themselves and how do humans get caught in these scenarios over and over and over and over again. How the fuck does that happen? It's a mystery. I'm waiting for an artist to attempt to do it. Maybe using the context of World War II or the Holocaust or whatever. But I mean, I think I've seen it in film. Just like, I mean, like in this particular context, because it's such a story for people, right? It's like probably the craziest story in human history, right? Is World War II and Hitler and Nazis and the Holocaust. It's like, what? Like, wait, this happened? Holy fucking shit! And it's still like present to this day as far as historical remembrance.
January 6th was the second, right?
What
maybe,
happened?
maybe modern history, right? Because I'm sure like a lot worse or even similar stuff happened.
Oh yeah,
Thousands.
I mean modern history, yeah. Like
Yeah,
in our world today, the Holocaust is like the worst thing that's ever happened, right?
yeah,
You know, like Genghis
I
Khan's like
thought
fucking teabagging the world and shit.
January 6th took over, though, right? They took the first one.
Of course. Buffalo
Worse than-
Bob.
worse than 9/11.
Buffalo.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's all. I thought it was all right. So let me just do some of the filmy stuff. The way it looked was fucking beautiful, as shitty as like a historical event that is. The way they shot it was fucking beautiful, and it's very subtle, and they're not smash me over the head with dun, 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 fucking crazy music shit. Like granted, there's a lot of like a horror soundtrack thing happening, but I get it. I understand. It's kind of the eeriness of the situation. So the music kind of made sense there, but it wasn't bashing me over the head too much. The way it looked was fucking beautiful. The acting, I don't know German, so I assume these guys were doing a good job with their acting. It just seemed believable the way they would talk to each other. The very, very slow intro and very, very slow outro. I would ask them what the point was before I call that good or bad. Something tells me it's because, like, once again, taking the modern mind for granted and taking the scenario for granted, and it's like, well, this is important. Well, why is it important? It's the Holocaust, man. Oh, okay. Like they just take the that shit for fucking granted. And you do the same with slavery. Like all these historical events where we're supposed to like feel bad for the scenario. It's like, yeah, they'll just like, well, it's bad because it's bad. I'm like, no, explain it so that you can relate it to other bad things that happen. You dum-dums. But, yeah, no one wants to do shit like that. It's too risky. All right, let me grade this thing. It's a good movie, but it's disappointing at the same time because of what I thought I was, not what I thought I was gonna get, but what was potentially built right there. I once again to say it again. I think that's a beautiful fucking idea. Hey guys, what are you missing? What are you buying into right now that you're missing out on? That you're turning a blind eye to? That you're ignorant of? That you're conditioned to be ignorant of? What is going on in your life to where maybe it's not 6 million fucking people dead or whatever, but it's, it's one person's personal fucking Holocaust where they're getting shit on, but you ignoring it. Like, that's the theme I wanted to be running through. But they kept it strictly to the Holocaust. I understand. It's simple. It's easy. Everyone gets it. And it's Oscar bait. So, all right. So for me, I'm going to grade it 7.7. Slightly above average.
That's what I thought you were going to say to him. This sounds like a high 7.
One Life was, what I give it, 7.6? Like slightly above average. This movie is slightly better than One Life, in my opinion. Both based on true stories. This one takes a little bit more filmmaking risk, so I appreciate it a little more. But at the same time, lackluster, like underpinnings, layers, they're just missing. Like, where are they? It's a deep movie. Why? Well, the Holocaust, man. That's not good enough for me. It won't ever be good enough for me, because you need to show, like, because someone committing a crime to that level, like, yes, it's a massive amount of people, but anyone that commits some sort of like a one-on-one brutal murder, one person killing another in a brutal murder, guess what? They should be able to take something from this film and see it in that scenario as well. That is taking your theme and your story and making it universal. Uni-fucking-versal. That's what I want from a movie. Maybe that's me being strict, but it is what it is, man. We can spend 10 years watching Django killed slave masters, bro. Like, I get it. Slave master bad, got it. But I want like deeper underpinnings so that I want people to be nourished from the film and not want to ever see that in any fucking scenario ever again. Instead of walking around looking for swastikas everywhere. Meanwhile, some dude saluting the American flag is committing crimes right in front of your fucking nose, or right under your nose. Like, I want it to be 360 storytelling. None of this fucking campy garbage, bro. I thought this is garbage, I'm just saying. Like, they're just taking our sensibilities about the Holocaust for granted, bro. They're just using it at that point. Anybody else? As I'm done rambling.
Okay.
I think you said it all.
I love rambling, so forgive me. All right. Here's the review of... Oh, I do recommend it, though. I definitely recommend it. Just one time watching. I'm never coming back to this movie.
Do you recommend 300 too?
Yeah. Hey, listen. If you secretly believe dicks are delicious, please go watch 300. Go enjoy the shit out of 300.
Are you okay?
You see how he assumed like I was making fun of him, but really I was just making fun of 300, and then he attached himself to 300. You see that?
Bro. Yeah, I
That was
didn't
crazy,
even know.
right? In real time, he just
I
did
was
that.
I was
Wait,
simply
Jordan.
asking a question.
What's wrong with 300, Jordan?
Go ask Zack Snyder. What's wrong with 300? But all right, there's my review for The Zone of Interest.
Anthony, what's wrong with 300?